Thank you very much, Right Honourable Leader of Opposition. Dear comrades, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to address you as one of the many voices agitating for change in our country, Uganda. Today, as we enjoy the elegance of this five-star facility to discuss governance issues, we must not lose sight of the harsh reality that we face. The reality that surrounds us, ladies and gentlemen, is important to put in notice. I want to remind all of you, brothers and sisters, that we live under a military dictatorship. It disregards the rule of law. It undermines all institutions of state. It is family rule. I repeat, we live under family rule. We are only allowed to be here today just because the regime does not consider this gathering a serious threat to its main and only objective, and that is staying in power. In terms of democracy, Uganda has gone back to 1973, 50 years ago. Yes, we've gone back to the Amin days. The only difference is that the Idi Amin of today is a little bit smarter, more calculative, and more deceptive. He will allow you to discuss democracy, reforms, and all that, especially if it is away from the masses. But you can be sure, ladies and gentlemen, that all the beautiful ideas that we share do not go beyond these beautiful rooms. We discuss them here, and because the regime feels threatened by them, they usually end here. So that reality should remind all of us that our first and main duty should be removing the Museveni dictatorship. I repeat, those harsh realities that we face should remind us that our main duty and the first duty we should consider is to remove the Museveni dictatorship. But for as long as the dictatorship remains, then we might as well forget about any meaningful reforms. Some of you might say that I present a rather pessimistic image of our situation, but I want to invite all of you to review Uganda's political history since 1986, when General Museveni captured our country by force. For 10 years, until 1996, General Museveni ruled uninterrupted without any elections. And then from 1996 to 2005, he ruled as a leader of the one-party state. Now, this lack of electoral accountability for 20 long years is what set stage for the problems that we are dealing with today. Between 2005 and now, we have witnessed 4 presidential elections under the multi-party system, all of them conducted on a very unleveled playing field in favor of General Museveni and his NRM candidates. Each of those elections has been a sham election, only legitimized by a judicial system that has proven time and again to be part of the problem rather than being a solution. Since 2005, the regime has employed various tactics to suffocate the opposition and to limit the ability of the opposition to engage with the electorate. Opposition candidates and their supporters have been intimidated, they've been arrested, they've been subjected to military violence and murder. Dr. Aleese, who ran against General Museveni 4 times, was repeatedly arrested, physically assaulted, maliciously prosecuted, and his campaign rallies were disrupted by security forces. We all remember that it got even worse when I challenged General Museveni in 2021. The presidential campaign was turned into a war zone. We were tear gassed, we were arrested, beaten, pepper sprayed, shot at, and our supporters were massacred in their hundreds. By election day in 2021, the regime had already switched off the entire internet, banned all media from relaying results live from the field. It also banned any telecenters except one media house, which was used to telecast fake results in favor of General Museveni. From 2021 elections alone, we have more than 100 of our fellow citizens lying in graves after the regime ordered a massacre on the 18th and 19th of November 2020, just 1.5 months away from the general election of 2021. Today, as we speak, hundreds of innocent young men and women are still languishing in prisons just because they identified with us during the election. Needless to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that the abductions of people accused of supporting us is still going on, even as we speak in this beautiful room. So, given that history, I am convinced that this is a battle for the soul of our nation, and this is a battle that we must win. I'll say that one lesson that we have learned from the experiences of those that challenged Museveni before us, and from our own experiences, is that for as long as Museveni regime is in power, Uganda will never experience fair electoral processes or even uphold constitutional governance. Why? Because this regime sustained itself in power by denying its opponents fair political competition. So the first thing to do, and I say this again, the first thing for us to do is to remove the Museveni regime, and only then shall we expect respect for any sensible political discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the cornerstone of democracy is a constitution that guarantees the rights and freedoms of its citizens. Our constitution should be protected from manipulations and amendments which serve the interests of individuals as opposed to the interests of the nation. Friends, Ugandans yearn for a country where no one is above the law, where the judiciary operates without fear or favor, ensuring that justice is served to everybody. We must change the way our judges are appointed. We must establish a system that can genuinely hold the executive responsible for its actions. Ugandans yearn for a country where there is electoral integrity, where every election is a testament to the will of the people. A country where the voice of the people is respected and where their votes carry the weight of their hopes and their aspirations. We want a country where democracy thrives, where the media is free and is a conduit for the exchange of ideas, fostering a vibrant political discourse that enriches our nation. We must redefine the role of our national security institutions. They should not be used as tools of oppression and suppression. Instead, security forces should be protectors of our democracy, not obstacles to the same. We want an independent electoral commission that is free from political interference. Members of the electoral commission should be selected through a public and impartial process conducted by an independent body. They should be people of demonstrated integrity, committed to upholding democratic principles and values. They should not be appointed by the president. The people of Uganda should be free from intimidation and violence when they go for elections. All forms of intimidation and violence should be condemned and punished. The rights of every voter, regardless of their political affiliation, must be respected and must be protected. I know that even in this room, ladies and gentlemen, this room where we are, I know that we have varying levels of trust amongst us. But I must say this to you today, that we are not here just to pass time or to pretend to be politically mature. We are here because Uganda needs us. We are here because our country is at crossroads. We have a duty, ladies and gentlemen, to collectively give direction because all of us have an equal stake in this, our country. Our country needs us at this defining time, and each of us must honorably and decently play their role. So, I want to call upon you today, ladies and gentlemen, and to all well-meaning Ugandans here and those watching us on the media, regardless of their political affiliations, to join forces and rid our country of dictatorial rule. The road ahead, ladies and gentlemen, will definitely be challenging. There will be resistance from those who benefit from the current mess, and those are many. But I'll tell you that we must not be guided by our fear and apathy. Words of the great Nelson Mandela. He said, it's always seeming impossible until it's done. So let us not be eyes shut by the challenges and the fear that we face today. Let us rise above our differences and build a nation where the will of the people prevails, where every voice matters, where the dreams of our forefathers can be realized, and where every citizen can participate in political processes without fear of intimidation. Ladies and gentlemen, democracy is not a privilege. Democracy is a right, and it is a right for everybody. Unfortunately, we are not going to get this on a silver platter. We will have to endure the challenges. We will have to go through so much. But I guess, and I believe that we will find and achieve it. We will achieve this for ourselves and for the generations to come. I thank you, and I wish you fruitful deliberations today. Thank you very much. For God and my country.